guys, Mike from Under the Carolina Skies. So glad you have joined me today. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and this little video is long overdue. Hike with Mike. If you don't know who he is, I'll put a little post down below and you can go check out his channel. Hike with Mike tagged me in the north, south, east, west, I don't really know what you call it, but it's where you show everybody how far east you've gone, the furthest west, the furthest north, and the furthest south you've gone. And he had a paper map on the wall and some pegs that he used, and I don't have that, so I'm gonna have to move inside and get on my computer and go ahead and fulfill the tag that is long overdue. And Hike with Mike, I just love your channel, buddy. If you guys haven't checked him out yet, check him out. Hike with Mike. His swamp talks are just absolutely awesome. I mean, they're just great. It's kind of like a survival guide for your brain, you know, when you're outside, and well, even for everyday life. But just a great channel, and I just really appreciate him. And after I do the map part, I'm going to be tagging 3 other people to also do the north, south, east, west video. So let's move back inside and get on the computer. Okay, everybody, we're back in the house now, and I'm going to take my map here and that I've got on my computer screen and show you guys some places that I have been. This is where I grew up, right here in a little place called Hudson, Florida. And probably the furthest east that I have ever been is one year when I was growing up. We took a family vacation, which my father loved to do. We didn't have a whole lot growing up. We had everything we needed, some things we wanted, but one thing that we were always able to do was take some really nice vacations. We didn't do a lot of expensive things, but my dad loved to travel, and we pulled a little pop-up camper, and we've been to a lot of places. But one year in particular, we left our home here in Florida. We drove all the way up the East Coast, all the way up to Nova Scotia, Canada, where my aunt and uncle live, and we spent some time with them. So that's probably the furthest east that I have ever been. And that was a great trip, and I'll never forget that. And also, the furthest north that I have been was a part of that same trip, because that year that we traveled clear up the East Coast and we went to Nova Scotia, we left there, and if I remember right, we came all the way back through across the top part of the United States, and we went to Indiana to visit family there. So we were in South Bend, I know, and visited some family there and went to a few other places there. And there's an Amish family that we're extremely close to, and they live in Bremen, Indiana, and I know we spent quite a few weeks with them too, and I had a good time. And then from there, we ventured on up to North Dakota, and I've been in North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, all over the place. And I think we may have crossed over the border here someplace into Canada. So I'm going to say that Nova Scotia would be the furthest east that I have been. But I'm going to say that the Canadian border just north of North Dakota is going to be the furthest north that I have been. And so from there, I know that we traveled over to Yellowstone National Park, and that's probably going to be the furthest west that I have ever been. I'm sure we ventured out into Montana. I'm sure we ventured out into Idaho. My dad used to really love to take road trips, and sometimes we would just take a side road and travel for hours, just go see where it would go. And I'm sure that we've done that around here someplace. And now, if I recall right, we left there and we traveled back down through the southern part of the United States and then back home again. So that was a great trip, and that actually covers my my farthest east, farthest north, and my farthest west that we've ever traveled. Now, let me go ahead and take you guys to the most southern point of my travels, and I'll go back to red for that. So one year when I was growing up, I remember, I'm guessing it was probably right around about 1982, my father drove a school bus from our hometown in Hudson, Florida, where I grew up, a school bus now, all the way across the southern United States, and we went down through Mexico, Mexico City, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua. And we drove that school bus to take some supplies for some missionaries down there. And from there, I think we had to drive back to Mexico, probably Mexico City, I'm going to say, after our 2 week stay there. And we flew Mexicana Air across the Gulf of Mexico to Miami, Florida. And oh, Miami's down here to Miami, Florida. And from there, we had to drive home. Or we may have flown back to Tampa. I'm not sure, but that was a great trip, man. It was just awesome. But I'm going to have to say that the furthest south that I've ever been is probably going to be Nicaragua. Okay, so man, what a great trip, and what a fantastic opportunity to be able to go back in my life and relive some of these places, that I've been. So um, north, south, east, west. There you have it on my computer map. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Those are the places that I've been, the things that I have done, and now I'm going to go ahead and tag 3 other people. So I have decided that I am going to tag. Number 1, I'm going to tag Carolina Chris. I have not picked on Carolina Chris in a long time, and I love his channel as well. So Carolina Chris, you've been tagged, buddy. Let us see where you've been. And the second person I want to pick on, somebody else that I really like picking on, Cheesehead Chris. Cheesehead Chris, I know you've been some places, man. I know you have been on some trips, you've been on some vacations, and you've been to some pretty cool places. So why don't you go ahead and show us where you've been to? And the third person I want to tag is somebody that I've been really trying to get together with now for a long time. I just have not been able to do it, and I feel so bad about it. But I love this guy. I love his channel, and that is Mike's Wild World. And so, Mike, I'm tagging you. Show us where you've been on the map, and you guys get creative with it, and let's see what you can come up with. Okay? So, everybody, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all real soon. Take care. Bye. Hey guys, Mike from Under the Carolina Sky here. Just gonna make a quick little video. Little